Shabbat Shalom. You may be disappointed to hear this, but this will be a shorter Devar Torah than usual. We had originally scheduled a tag team Devar Torah, but we are postponing the second half. We were going to talk about building security while still being an inclusive community. Guess which half I was? You will hear from Rafi Forbush about security at another time when we can all be present together in the actual building. So after a hasty rewriting, here is my new half, minus half of what I was going to say. When Rabbi Rubin was visiting, he discussed the contrast between the dramatic events in the beginning of the Exodus to the more mundane details we are seeing now in the construction of the Mishkan. The plagues, the passing over the houses of the Jews, the parting of the Red Sea, the Torah at Sinai, all enormous gestures that we shared as a people, leaving no question as to who is in charge and who we are as a people. And the mundane details of building the Mishkan and the holy work of doing the work, doing the less exciting activities that keep us whole and together as a people. Today's Parsha remains quite a contrast to the Exodus. In Vayachel, we are still building the Mishkan. We learn about blue, purple, and crimson yarns, goat's hair, dolphin skins, spices, curtains and utensils, pegs, loops, and clasps, and posts and sockets. The Mishkan is complete, and Pekudei sums up how much and how many of all of these things went into the Mishkan. Riveting. There are now sacred vestments, anointing oil, and burnt offerings. How to be in the Mishkan. Well, we have had an exciting time at Beth Jacob. We've celebrated together, mourned together, had amazing fundraisers together. We just successfully completed an over 2-year search process, and we just celebrated Purim with remarkable joy. And then, now we have to figure out how we are to be as Beth Jacob without our beautiful building, without our delicious kiddushes, without our Purim carnival, our handshakes, our hugs, our lounge nights, our weekly checking in. How to be welcoming when we have no location in which to do it. How to be connected when we are apart. We have to learn how to be as families without schedules, without school support, without play dates, without visits from our loved ones, without mahjong with the ladies, without all the connections we usually take for granted. We have to be without certainty. How long will this go on? Have I been exposed? Should I quarantine? Should I get tested? Should I take Advil? Should I avoid the grocery store? The certainty, that's what we had in the desert. We had specific instructions. There was no room for doubt about how to build the Mishkan. What I wouldn't give for the CDC to tell me how many dolphin skins, pegs, loops, and crimson yarns we need now. A lot of people could have used the Pekudei-worthy summary of how many rolls of toilet paper and bottles of hand sanitizer should go into quarantining. I would love the Rabbinic Assembly to give us instructions on sacred vestments, anointing, live streaming, sharing prayer books. Without all that, we are on our own, together, as a holy community deeply committed to remaining a holy community. No rebellion, no golden calf, but phone calls to check in, story time online, live streaming Shabbat, Zoom minyan, Zoom lounge nights, FaceTiming, Skyping, writing letters, buying wine and chocolate, even though we don't know how much we'll use this year. We are going to do it successfully as a community. When we began our social distancing process, 30 volunteers stepped forward to make calls to all of our congregants just to check in. We created community in a new way, and we did so successfully because it's who we are as a people. We are creating minyanim, classes, and Shabbat services in new ways that we never imagined, because being together in whatever way we can is who we are as a community. We are inventing new ways to keep in touch, from story reading on Facebook to Zoom Bajuicy lounge nights to voting via email, because being together in whatever way we can is who we are as a community. At our virtual minyan on Thursday, we had 25 people, which is many more than we usually have. We had minyaneers in 3 states, people who have not been to a minyan in person in months or even years, or in one case, ever, showed up for the virtual minyan. I am told that the camaraderie has been the same as the camaraderie in person. People are genuinely appreciative and they enjoy it. When this is all over and we are able to be together in person again, we may want to find a way to continue a virtual presence to include those who otherwise might not be able to come. I am also not clear on the being part of this. Personally or professionally, I too am figuring it all out. I had to figure out how to write a completely different Devar Torah than I had planned. Last June, I calendared a Devar Torah in March about how wonderful it is to host Seders, encouraging all of you to be inclusive and open your homes to each other and to strangers. I was going to give you instructions on how to host a Seder when you aren't sure what to do. The world is completely different than it was last June. I don't have instructions on how to do this when we aren't sure what to do. But we as a community are figuring it out. We are learning how to be as a community. We have found new ways to do things. We have been patient with each other as we figure it out. We had instructions for building the Mishkan, and we knew what to do to build the Beth Jacob community. Now we continue the holy work of doing the work that keeps us whole and together as a people. Shabbat.